Hi all, Marco O'Hare here from Sporting Bet. This is We Love Betting. We're talking Football League at the moment, and I'm on my own again as Chris Graham is gallivanting up the country. He's in Durham this week, so he's left me on my own to record, not in my bedroom, contrary to what's been said on Twitter and elsewhere. This isn't my bedroom. It is a bedroom, but it's not my bedroom. Too many girls in my bedroom at the moment. You can go in there. I'm joking. Anyway, we're talking Football League. I've got a bet from the Championship and two from League 2. I'm skipping League 1. But the first bet is from Friday night's game in the Championship between Middlesbrough and Sheffield Wednesday. So let's get straight to it. Those who know, or those who tune in know I opposed Sheffield Wednesday last week against Posh. Obviously went against me. They'll also know that I've put Middlesbrough up as my best bet in the Championship for to win the table, win the league even, not the table. Going very well in the table nonetheless. I don't really rate Sheffield Wednesday that highly. I know they did deserve to beat Posh last week. They have got defensive problems. I'm not overly convinced by their attack either, and especially away from home as well. I think they're quite vulnerable. Talking about Middlesbrough then, we did slag off Steve Bruce quite a lot last week, rightly so in my opinion. But Tony Mowbray, he's another sort of dour character. He's not the coolest guy in town, is he? But he's doing a great job at Middlesbrough. You know, you can't really deny him that, especially after the disaster he had at Celtic. He's doing very well at Middlesbrough. And he and Middlesbrough aren't the most fashionable people or clubs at the moment, despite their good form. And that's kind of good for us punters, because it means, I believe, bookmakers sometimes don't necessarily take their form too much into account. I think that's what's happened here. Middlesbrough 5-6 to beat Sheffield Wednesday on Friday night, which in my eyes is a little bit big, and especially when you consider the form they're in. They've won 5 and drawn 1 of their last 6 games, along with Palace, they're the form team in the Championship. And if you remember last year, they were very mean at the back and defended very well. Not the prettiest, but they struggled for goals really, and that's what let them down on their promotion push. Well, a little bit different this year. They've got the likes of Scott McDonald firing again. Lucas Jutkovic is scoring and looking lively, and they've also got Marvin Emnes as cool, of course, and Nicky Bailey as well from midfield, a player I do really like as well. So let's just talk about Wednesday, shall we? Okay, they did beat Ipswich and Peterborough, but they're brought back down to earth by Blackpool in midweek at home as well. And I think there's a bit of a case to be said that they don't play too well against the teams above them. I think they've lost 8 times this year in the Championship, and they've all been against teams above them in the table. So perhaps they're flat track bullies. Of course, they played Ipswich at the time when any pub team in the world could have beaten Ipswich. They've already lost 4 games on their travels as well. So looking at Middlesbrough, okay, a lot's been made of their away form, but their home form's not exactly bad either, is it? It's 1-5, drawn 1 and lost 1 at home, 5-6. It just looks like a great bet to me, especially when you consider they haven't been beaten at home by Sheffield Wednesday since 1991. Yep, I was 5 years old and I don't remember it. Anyway, League 2, as I said, we're skipping League 1. I've got 2 bets from League 2. Start with Oxford against Torquay. The Kassam Stadium's basically been king for goals in League 2 in the 4 tiers. 28 of them plundered at an average of 3.5 a game from 8 matches played at the Kassam this season. 5 of the last 7 have gone over 2.5. And if you look at Oxford's season as a whole, 12 of their 16 league games have also gone over 2.5. So immediately you've got to look at the 2.5, the over 2.5 goals market. What price is it? It's 17 to 20. Again, that's a price which, when looking at overs, both teams to score. If you can get anything near even money, it's something that I leap on, because I think it's so rare these days to get close to even money on that sort of price, especially with stats like these. Turn your attentions to Torquay. Normally so cohesive, so mean, so star at the back, especially in the goal markets. Not so recently. 6 of their last 7 have broken the over 2.5 marker. They've only kept 4 clean sheets in 16 matches, and actually only failed to score 4 times in those 16 as well. So that's 17 to 20 on over 2.5 goals when Oxford play Torquay. And finally, I'm just getting it up as well, because it's also in League 2. And it's a game between Aldershot and Bradford. Again, looking at the goal markets here. Firstly, I did look at Aldershot and thought they did look a little bit big, slightly underrated in the markets to beat Bradford. Of course, they've come away from that horrible run of defeats and winless games. We're beating Southend, and they've actually now gone 4 games unbeaten. while Bradford have actually lost 18 of their last 31 away games, including 4 already this season. But the concern for me of Aldershot is their lack of goals at home, just 2 of them in 8 games at the recreation ground. Not good enough. So you look elsewhere. Both sides played out goalless draws in midweek. Aldershot played with 10 men for the majority of their game of Wycombe. Got a 0-0 and have actually gone back to the bottom of the table. Bradford's good season seems to be catching up with them actually. They're playing in 3 competitions, of course, League 2, into the quarterfinals of the Capital One Cup and the FA Cup as well. Their midweek stalemate with Chesterfield was actually the 9th midweek game of the season already, so it just shows success sometimes isn't the best option, especially for these lower league teams with small squads. Since beating Burton in the League Cup in extra time, Bradford have now gone under 2.5 in 9 of the last 11 games, while their previous 5 matches have just seen 4 goals. Included in that sample is actually 120 minutes against Premier League Wigan. Looking at Aldershot then, just 2 of their 8 home games have breached the over 2.5 marker, so 6 of them have gone unders. Unders here is again 17 to 20, it's each of 2, 17 to 20. I'd rather be with the unders, so I'm going for the unders in Aldershot Bradford. To conclude, this week's bets are in reverse order: under 2.5 goals, Aldershot Bradford 17 to 20, the same price 17 to 20 when Oxford play Torquay, and to finish it's a Friday night game in the Championship where I'm backing Middlesbrough to beat Sheffield Wednesday at 5 to 6. Good luck and happy punting.